Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bravo Tea with the Stay at Home Mom. I'm Erica, and I'm ready to talk all things Bravo. Welcome back, everybody. And on this episode, we're going to be getting into some Bravo tea. And I just have to apologize if you guys think the audio sounds a little weird. I am unfortunately using my little travel microphone again. This Riverside program. I was sitting down to record and I'm talking, and then all of a sudden it keeps exiting me out. I don't know what's going on. I need to maybe call customer service or I don't know. Do you even still do that? Or is it like some AI like comment thing on the bottom? I hate that when they're like, talk to this robot. Like, it's like, no, let me talk to a person. Let me screen share so you can just fix my problem for me, please. But I will do that tomorrow because today I was doing a reset, like we talked about on the last episode. I reset our office and now it looks lovely. But now I got to get this computer and programming figured out because then I can't use my funny audio and it just messes me all up. And I have to sit here and hold this little travel mic. All right. But no one wants to hear my problems. They just want to hear other people's problems in the Bravo universe. So let's kick it off with Brittany Cartwright and Jax Taylor. So I literally cannot wait for the next season of The Valley because I feel like all the information we're already getting, it's going to be good. I mean, nobody can say it's going to be bad at all. So over the weekend, they filmed the season finale. They had like their little party, and there was a bombshell reveal. So Brittany was shown graphic and explicit text messages that were between Jax and another woman, and they got all of this on camera. So US Weekly wrote an article about it today that I was reading, and it said that Jax had been spending time with several different women, and he meets some of them at his bar or at the gym. And this is why opening that bar was a bad idea. When Brittany's mom, Sherry, was on the podcast a little while ago, she definitely talked about the bar and how she knew it was not going to be a good thing. Tom Schwartz called it last season too. He said, "Oh, you're opening a bar? Oh, good. You'll be divorced and in an apartment next year and depressed like me." And he maybe should go down and play the lottery because he was right. But I don't think it was that hard to figure out that I thought that was going to be the demise of their marriage too, because Brittany has put up with a lot, but I was like, no, that's not going to be good. And obviously, Jax can do what he wants, but of course, this is difficult for Brittany because, and all of us watching, because when the person that does wrong is the one that's kind of moving on first and so out in the open, you're like, no, you're not allowed. You need to suffer longer. Like Brittany can go out and date. So there was a picture of him getting kind of like close to a woman, and I didn't see. So I guess it was on his Instagram story, so it was over the weekend, and I guess the girl looked like Britney. So I think a lot of people were writing like, "Oh my God, Brittany, how dare you?" or "Is that you?" and stuff like that. So she had to go to Instagram to comment, and she put, "That's definitely not me. I don't want him in my face," with laughing faces, and then like the girl holding up the arms basically saying no. So obviously, we know that was not her. And obviously, as we're already seeing, this is gonna get ugly. And she is already seeking, as I've said before, primary legal and physical custody of Cruz with only visitation for Jax. Now, that doesn't mean that's what she's going to get, but that's what she's going to go to court and say she wants. And she's obviously probably has some evidence um to present that because I don't think if Jax would have done something like if he didn't do something really bad, I think he did something really bad, honestly. I said in my last episode, I think he got physical with Brittany and I think in front of Cruz, and I think that's why she's going for you're only getting visitation because he was also in a rehab center and it says he's bipolar and he has like PTSD. So obviously maybe if you're newly diagnosed with being bipolar, you shouldn't be in the care alone of a 3-year-old. And I'm sure that's what she's going to present also. But I think he did something to Brittany for her to go down a dark route and not wanting him to have like 50-50 custody. Because I think if none of that happened, she would be like, yeah, we can have 50-50 custody because I feel like Jax has always been a good dad, but obviously it doesn't have to be you doing something to the kid to lose custody. It could be if you're doing it to the other parent in front of the kid too, because that is obviously not good. And that is why she's wanting to get away from him. But Jax was like on their podcast alone, so I do not listen to his solo ones because they're sharing the podcast 50-50, but she doesn't want to share the kid 50-50. But this is the quote that he said on the last episode. So he said, "Unfortunately, I can't speak to details since everything has been heavily documented on the show since we happen to be filming right now. You will see how everything plays out once the show airs. But I will say this season has been the most difficult season I've ever had to film." Oh wait, that's what she said. I'm sorry. Jax said, "It's been really, really rough week. Anyone that has gone through a divorce will understand how difficult it is. Brittany did file for divorce. I understand why she did, and I agree that this is the right decision for our family. I'll always love and care for Brittany. She's the mother of my beautiful son. All I want for us is to be amicable and even hopefully really, really good friends. One day, I know I'm an amazing father, and I know that I will make an excellent ex husband." He's wild if he thinks he's an excellent ex husband, because I think if the court awards her the full custody and him visitation, he's going to flip out and trash talk Brittany so much, go in a downward spiral. And that's just going to get even more and more worse for him. I'm sorry I mixed up the quotes. That was Brittany, the first one I read. And then obviously this crazy response is Jax's. And I don't know why you think you're going to be really, really good friends, because the fact that you're already like prancing around with people you're meeting at the gym and your bar is just wild. And you're really obviously not focusing on getting help. Like you just went into a rehab and you're kind of pulling a Raquel coming out and just still being wild. So I don't know. I just literally can't wait for this season. It's going to be so good. But let's move on to our next topic. So I'm going to talk about multiple things about Lala. She's just in the news, really coming in hot. So the one thing that I saw, the video already was taken down before I went to go see it. So I saw a blogger last week. I can't remember her name. It's a girl that does a lot of videos. She'll play like the video behind her and just kind of talk about it. So I had seen that Lala did um like a co thing with a placenta pill company. So she had talked about when she had Ocean, you can, when you deliver, you get your placenta, you can either eat it. Oh, I didn't think people actually ate it, but they get it in capsules. Because I was like, oh my God, did you just sit there and eat that floppy jellyfish that just came out of you? So you get it into little capsules and pills, and they literally just look like vitamins. Very interesting. I don't know how popular that was like long ago, but now it's very popular. I didn't do it, but I saw her packaging. Can't remember the company, so I don't know if she used the same one again, but she did like a partnership. That's the word I was looking for, with them. And they sent it to her and she posted it. Well, now, if you go on her Instagram, it's nowhere to be found, because the company that did it, while they were bottling her pills up, it literally had a label and it said Lala Kent. And then they're making a whole spiel video, and they're saying how important it is for both mom and dad to be present in baby's life, for the dad to hold the baby, all while they're bottling Lala's placenta pills. And they literally know that she did this all on her own. There is no dad, it's just her. So I cannot believe the company did that. I think it was very direct, very on purpose. It was so obvious because the label was right there and said Lala Kent. And it's just somebody packaging it and then like a voiceover of like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So then when I went on her Instagram, she took it down, the post she made for the placenta pills. And I would be so mad if I was her. But you know what? If people use her code and buy those placenta pills, you're damn right I'm gonna still get my money. Give me more now since you made me mad. And that's so embarrassing. I mean, I actually can't believe they would even do that too because she's a public figure. Like, it'd be rude enough if you were just a regular person and no one knew who you were and you saw your little label there while they're making this video talking about something that is totally opposite of what you've done and chosen to do. But the fact that they had Lala's name right there and we all know who she is, it's terrible. I do feel bad because that's really embarrassing and really rude and definitely done deliberately. But then also what she is doing, which the company doing this to her is very rude. So she is suing her former cosmetics brand partner for using her Give Them Lala trademark and likeness without her permission. So I was like wondering if she still did the Give Them Lala beauty because I feel like she never posts or talks about it. Really, all she does is like her partnerships, her Amazon lives, and her podcast, I feel like. And obviously, filming, like when she filmed for Vanderpump, which it said they're going to pick cameras up in like October. So I think they're all going to be on it. I don't know about Tom and Ariana. Um, and then she was on the Valley. So obviously she still does stuff like that. But I had a feeling she wasn't doing her cosmetic stuff. And remember they give them Lala baby and stuff? Because I'm like, I feel like if she was still doing that, she'd be dressing Ocean and like Summer Moon in the Give Them Lala baby and obviously her new baby. So obviously that has died down. But I'm just going to read like what I got from the article that I read. So it said, according to the complaint, Lala entered into a 2-year partnership with Cosmesi. It's like COSMESI LLC through her company to develop, market, and sell cosmetics, with each partner putting in $20,000 and retaining a 50% interest in the venture. So this is kind of like um it's like a wholesale brand of makeup. So what she did was she would get catalogs or maybe go to the distribution center and pick out what she wanted, and then they would put her name on it. Not everyone could be Kylie Jenner and literally like formulate stuff in like a laboratory. And even Mac does stuff like this. There are lots of companies that do that. Not every company totally hand makes and tests all their stuff. It's almost like they pick out from a catalog and then just put their name on it. But she is saying that the agreement expired at the end of 2021, but this cost messy continued to operate the Give Them Lala cosmetics line. So she's complaining that they've even introduced new products without Lala's knowledge or participation, which is wild. So I guess the website is like still up. They still have an Instagram page and it's still active and they're still doing stuff with her name and she is literally not a part of it at all. So she is seeking relief for breach of contract, trademark infringement, violation of her right of publicity, unfair business practices, and unjust enrichment on the part of Cosmesi. Her complaint asks for to be compensated, punitive damages, and preliminary and permanent injunction that would prohibit Cosmesi from using her property name, images, likeliness, persona, and trademarks. And she's also seeking to have her attorney's fees and costs covered. And if you guys are wondering if she's sending it to Daryl, she's sending it to Daryl's law firm. So she has 2 other people representing her for this that are at Daryl's law firm. Maybe she's given Daryl a break from other things, but this is crazy. That's why I don't follow her Give Them Lala beauty page. But I literally was wondering this like a couple months ago, like, does she even still do that? Because I feel like she's very active on her social media. So I'm like, she would be like saying it, we would know. And like I said, especially with the baby stuff. So this is crazy. It's so wild to me that this company thought she wouldn't find out, let alone sue them, because you're not going to get rich off of my name. No. And then let's say they're using her name and someone like breaks out in hives or something, so they want to go sue Lala. Like she'd be like, well, I have nothing to do with this stuff now. You got to sue this company. And by the way, get in line because I'm going to sue them because they're using my name. But then to wrap it up in something that I'm sure Lala was maybe a little sad reading, but probably not. Randall finally sold the house that they lived in. It only took him about 2.5 years to sell. So he sold it for 4,035,000, but I kind of screwed that up. I'm sorry. 4.35 million. Oh my God. And I was just watching Million Dollar Listing. You think I would like get these numbers better, but it's late at night and I'm so mad at my podcast for how it's been filming lately. But yeah, I remember Lala said that the house was like falling apart and it was like nasty and stuff, and he wanted to sell it in like the 6 million range. So I'm sure that's why it took him so long to sell. And I want to know like what's happening with him lately. Like, I feel like no one would want to act or be in his movies. How is he making money? Um, and just because he sold this house for this price, that does not mean he's going to get like $4 million. Like he probably maybe like refied on it a lot, has liens or loans on it. I don't know. Like he is a mystery that I feel like we never really hear much more about. Like I know we can't know the details of their court stuff with the kid, but I need to know because she's always like, I'm in a battle. And Brittany's going to join her for the battle. But see, Jax is like makes sense if he was in a mental institution, basically. He's bipolar, and I think he did something really bad to Brittany. Because that's what it said when I talked about it last time. It said he did something really bad. The producers had to step in and said, you need to go get help or you're going to be fired. So we shall see what that is going to be on the next season of The Valley. I hope they don't cut it out. Just like when it got too dark for the Ultimate Girls Trip and Caroline Manzo and the Brandy Glanville of it all, we'll still really never know. Brandy Glanville is saying roll them tapes and we'll like see that she's right and Caroline's wrong. Caroline was always the moral high ground, I feel like, of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, but I don't know. Maybe this, if we saw this footage, it would lead us to believe otherwise. But I feel like that's it for now for the Bravo Tea. And then I will be back later this week to have the recap of Orange County. I'm going to try to get a guest on for that, so that'll be fun. But I hope everyone's having a good back to school time because I feel like I'm getting so much done with my kids in school. It's very wonderful. But now, tomorrow, my mission is going to be I got to figure this stuff out. Riverside, I'm coming for you. I'm going toes, like Lala Kent would say, going toes like she is with this cosmetics company. As always, this was so fun, and you could find me on Instagram at Bravo T with the Stay at Home Mom, Spotify, and Apple. Till next time, see ya.